Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are officially live. Welcome back to another FunderProTv trading live stream. Got Kyron and Brian in the house. I almost called you Byron. I don't know why. I was like, Kyron
It's
and
like
Byron.
a combination.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Had a good, weekend.
Good.
I'm feeling good. A little tired this morning though. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that Monday morning?
Yeah.
After a holiday.
Yeah. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving?
Quiet for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Brian, you have kids, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to have quiet?
Yes. It's called a bottle of wine, and
there you go. And drown out the noise of the children.
Hey, you have kids or one child, two child?
I have two. Yeah, I have a 5 and a 3-year-old.
That's rough.
Yeah,
that's fun.
That's good.
Fun years.
No, that's good. Obviously, it's a never ending job, but it's fun. I like it.
Good.
We started the whole Elf on the Shelf. Elf is in the building.
I love that.
Oh, that's nice. Nice little childhood tradition.
Yeah. What's up, chat? How you guys doing? Hop in the chat. Say what's up. Who we got here today? I think Kyron is Kyron's in a gold long position right now.
Yeah, I could break down my the long that I took.
Yeah, for sure. I was just kind of giving it a minute for people to kind of roll in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us a little breakdown with what you took.
So let's see. The 15-minute candle. Okay, so it was based on this larger time frame, or it is based on this larger time frame continuation. So in order to, these are trades that I took both last week and then yesterday. So on here, let me zoom it in. On the 1 hour time frame, you kind of see it a little bit better. Gold is in this bullish trend. So this is a relatively bullish wave, though I believe it to just be a corrective structure because we have an impulsive move to the downside. It took roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 candles to get to the downside, and it's taken forever to just correct, a majority of that move, shall I say. But we are in a bullish trend. So we had a high created, a low, a new high that was created, and I had sold down from Friday to target these levels. I actually ended up taking another sell yesterday for a continuation down to here that hit take profit as well. But what gold did is it came down to this key level of demand here, and it rejected off of that level. And since it's been in this bullish trend, it was likely that we could see like a bullish continuation. So when I woke up this morning, I seen that we had switched from now being in this bearish trend to now being in a bullish trend. And all I wanted to do was just get a continuation of that move to retest into this supply zone here. So how I took my entry, let's dial it down a little bit here. It was based in the 15. So it was based on the 15-minute candle. Let me erase this. So this 15-minute candle had closed bullish. I wanted to get in on the continuation. I think I got in actually on the 5-minute candle. So this candle here, this was the candle that I got in. So after this 5-minute candle closed bullish, I got in on the next candle here. You can see my entry is right here. And I just wanted to see a continuation. It doubled as like a 15-minute low as well. So that was my 15-minute low. And I just wanted to see price get like a bullish continuation. I may trim at this level. I'm not sure. how I feel. I just want to see how price kind of reacts at this level. If we get volume and push through, then I'll just take at my full take profit. If we start to reject off of this level aggressively, then I may look to scale out. But right now I'm just gonna leave these to run. I got it on 2 separate accounts that that I'm trading on now. So I took it at a 0.5% on this account, and then I took it at like a 1% on the other account. So we'll see how it plays out. We shall see how.
Your stop loss is at 42. Is that correct?
Closer to 43, but yeah.
Okay.
26, 42, 92. That's where it is. So basically it's this 15-minute candle low here, this 15-minute candle. Looking for just a continuation throughout the session. The previous 4-hour candle is bullish. So that's kind of what I was looking at, just getting a continuation from that previous 4-hour candle. And then the 1-hour candle was bullish as well. Wanting to see that continue to the upside and just looking for it to, I mean, we have resistance here, but I'm looking ultimately for it to retest back up to here. It'll give me about a 1 to 2.4 risk to reward. So yeah, kind of got my stops, and realistically I can move my stops to now be below this 1-hour candle's low. Not that it would make all that much of a difference to my trade in and of itself, but
just looking at some of the comments. Bernie, what's up, man? Good start of the week. Does that mean you caught a winning trade to start the week? If so, good stuff. Wizard, what up, Wizard? Good to see you. Yeah, weekend and no candlesticks. Do you guys like detaching on the weekends, or you itching to get back in the markets all weekend? Curious.
Man, I use the market. I don't know. It's like a little bit of both for me.
Yeah, some weeks I end the week like kind of like burnt out, and I'm just like, oh man,
yeah,
I've been staring at charts a lot. Like I'm ready for a couple days off, and then there's other times where like maybe you're having a good week and you're able to catch trades and get in and out. It's kind of like, man, I can keep doing this, you know?
Yeah,
like it kind of depends for me. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Ishak. Hopefully you'll pass your 10K this week. That's sick. That means I would imagine that means that you're maybe up on the challenge, which is dope. Good for you. Congrats. Aneth S, are we going to the IFX Expo in Dubai? Yes. I believe there was just an expo in Dubai. Wasn't there? I could be wrong.
The Forex Summit, I think.
Oh, the Forex Summit. That's right. Yeah, I believe we'll be at the IFX Expo. Like none of us personally will be, but normally FunderPro does go to those and represent the company. So I think they probably will be. The Common Sense Investor up 20% in your challenge. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. What size challenge? CSI. I would imagine that means you're getting pretty close to your profit target there.
Yeah, that's good. God willing, me and Ishak will be passing this week.
Let's go. It's what I like to hear.
I just got another with the Black Friday deal. I got another 100K account with FunderPro as well. I'm gonna start that challenge because I have a whole video, like a whole intro series video that's gonna drop on the New Year's, and so I'm gonna start trading that live every day. Starting New Year's though. Hopefully it doesn't have like a 30-day like inactive. I might have to take like some trade, like some small 0.01 trade.
Yeah,
just
I gotta double check.
Starts, but
they don't have any. There's no time restrictions as far as I know off the top of my head.
Okay, I know like some starting like if of inactivity.
Yeah, because like I've heard them talk about it before, where like your max like trading capital at the time can be 200K, I believe. So like you could do that whether you do it with like 20 10K accounts, or you do it with 2 100K accounts, or you do it with 1 200K account. But they've said that like, you know, if you pass a challenge and you want to take advantage of like a sale and buy another one, so say you're trading a live 200K account, you can like take another one and just like have it on the back burner and stuff. So like I've heard them
Oh,
talk about
got you,
that, where
got
it's
you.
like, hey, you can have accounts like waiting, ready to go. So if that's
Yeah,
the case,
yeah.
I don't think there would be any sort of time
Yeah, facts,
restriction that's
facts.
with them. So I think you're okay there. If anybody knows anything differently, please feel free to let me know. But I'm pretty sure
Are you just talking about before you initiate the first trade, or just inactivity overall?
Yeah,
Because
inactivity. Well, go ahead.
Well, like, you know what I'm comparing to?
Yeah.
You make a trade and now the account's running, and I know I've got I don't know if it was a 60-day or 90-day warning one time, something that
Oh, really?
I had a challenge that I hadn't made a trade on in a long time, and
So you
yeah, I got a little
had
warning.
traded on it, and then you stopped, and then it would just sat inactive for like 60 or 90 days.
Something like that.
Mm.
Might
With
have been 30,
FunderPro?
but yeah, FunderPro. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll probably take like a dummy trade or something like that. Just
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
lowers,
Keep it
just to
active.
start the clock, because I don't
The-
want to start trading it until I'm actively documenting it. And
Yeah, I
so
feel you.
I want to hold off on that until I can get this video done, or this idea jump started.
Sure.
One thing I was just telling Kyron about this before we started streaming. I just entered a small swing position that I'm going to try to hold for a while in XRP, which I may be a little bit late to the party. But BlackRock just announced they're creating an XRP ETF, which is a crypto.
All right.
So I'm just kind of trying to ride that wave. I've heard the guys that I know that are really into crypto have been taught. I've heard them talk about XRP for a long time, but they think it's going to be a big deal in the crypto world as things continue to progress. And apparently BlackRock agrees. So I decided I'm going to throw a couple lots on that bad boy and let it ride, see what happens.
There you go.
Yeah, that does not sound bad. Like I said, I was telling you that I got a friend who's been profiting well off of XRP.
Yeah, I'll show the chart. I mean, you can see if you look at XRP, the daily chart is crazy strong. So this is XRP. I almost bought in. Somebody was talking about it. I watched something about it when it was trading around $1, and I was like, "Oh man, that's the thing with crypto, right?" I'm like, "Oh man, do I wait for a little pullback?" We were like right here, right? I'm like, "Do I, do I wait for a pullback?" And now here we are ripping.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't always get those pullbacks in these crypto bull runs, man. You get sometimes you get a little pause.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what she's up at 245 now. We'll see how she plays out.
How far back does that chart go? Does it go back to?
So this is the daily chart. Let's see. Let's look at the weekly.
Oh, like the daily. Then you go back to like 2017, 2020. Those.
Yeah, it looks like unless this is just loading slow. My guess is it got added later because it's October 2023. It looks like maybe is when Trade Locker it got added to Trade Locker or TradingView.
I know XRP hit around $3 a share in 2018 or 19. I went in.
Oh, really? Okay. So it does have this isn't an all-time high for it. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's like matching it finally, it looks like. I went into it around 125 and it shot up so fast. I thought I was rich beyond belief. And it crashed. It crashed within 2 days and I lost the entire profit.
Oh, no.
I mean, that was back in the day. I mean, what is that? 6 years ago or something, where
Yeah. That's wild. You were early. And we're off.
Man.
The New York market has opened, by the way.
I wouldn't call it early since I didn't know what I was doing with crypto. That was just more like gambling.
Yeah. I am holding some NAS longs with a stop at break even. I've taken a trim on this. We consolidated basically the whole Asian section overnight. I think this was our open here. I was able to get a little lucky, catch the breakout. So I am holding this. I think this is our overnight. Nice pop to start the morning.
That's your NAS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember before the stream you mentioning that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've taken I had
Good job,
0.08 lots. I've taken 2 of them off. I'm holding 0.6. I think I'm going to take one more off here.
Look at that.
Nice push out of the gate.
Don't
Took
take
one more
off.
off there,
Go
so I've
all
trimmed
in,
3. What's that?
I said, don't take off. Go all in.
Yeah. Just small. I was holding
Yeah.
0.06. I took off 0.01. So we're still 0.05.
Mm.
Just reducing risk a little bit. I do have my stop at break even. Floating about $550 right now. Much
it's
needed
definitely
winner
getting a nice
for me there.
a nice move on Nas there.
Be careful. PMI's in about 30 minutes.
Oh, is that restricted news?
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
Oh,
good call. I
great.
didn't know we had that today.
Excuse me.
Oh, good call. And she's still
I mean,
pumping.
you got some time, but that could fall quicker. Have you ever seen it? Like 30 minutes before
Yeah.
news
A lot of times you'll get, when you
get a
have news, you'll
sell-off.
get kind of some wild movement.
So
Kyron,
I
on your
didn't even
setup,
look at all of the
Oh, we just hit my upper levels. Damn, I didn't have a mark.
God.
I'm taking one more off.
on your setup, Kyron, that you shot us through a moment ago. You were right on. Your zones were pretty close to my daily key levels, 4-hour key level. I saw on my 15-minute is usually my context chart. My 5-minute is actually my true trigger chart. I saw a higher high somewhere around that 46 mark on gold, and man, I didn't want to take it because I've had so much bad luck. If I start trading an hour or so before a major news event, so I was impressed.
I should have been more.
That's cool to watch.
I would have definitely want to been more, because when does PMI come out? At 9:45?
On the hour, so it's
15
going to come out
minutes.
at 10 your time.
10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
What time? 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central.
Okay.
So, I mean, am I right, Kyron? You took that trade around
Here, I can put it up. Give me one
6:45 hour.
Come again?
You took did you go into that trade around the 6:30 a.m. your time? Is that about when you took that?
No, I got in this trade like roughly like 30 minutes before we hopped on stream.
Okay.
Yeah,
So kind of a retest. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
I got you.
Oh yeah.
You pull your stream back up,
Kyron.
I'll put it on.
Yeah, put it back. And then I can show you mine in a second, and I'll compare it.
I'm out of half of my position. I had 0.08 lots. I'm down to 0.04, and I have my stop into small profits on this one. But if we have news coming up, I got about 20 minutes still, and I'll have to close this one down. But I do have upper levels.
I'm likely
here.
just gonna go ahead and close mine because I don't.
Yeah, I am at some upper level here.
If I would have known we had news, I mean, I would have been more inclined to taking it when it was near that resistance level I mentioned. Because otherwise, I would just hope. Because it's still. You can show my screen. It's still okay. So this was that resistance line that I had.
Yeah.
That I was expecting something to happen off of. If I would have known we had news, I would have been more inclined to taking my profit right here. I wasn't worried because this candle closed bullish still, but if we got news, I'm likely just gonna close this off at break even here.
Yeah, totally agree.
And then I'll trade after the news because I would prefer to trade the direction of after the news. I mean, normally in the regular market condition, if I was on a swing account, I would just leave this trade. I wouldn't worry about closing it, but I don't even want to test when we get to news, knowing that I can't like hold through. So I'm likely just going to take the break even here on this trade.
And you know, from a higher perspective, those bounces that are happening from Friday all around up and down on that 2656 mark, that's a weekly key level for me. And my interpretation is that's why you're seeing strong ups and downs throughout that little region on your upper.
Yeah, 110. Because when I took the breakout for the continuation, I was expecting volume simply because this was a key level. This was actually, so I took one trade on Friday, which was essentially price was creating, it had just created this low here, broke through this low, retested up here. I got in within actually like this candle here, because that's when I had seen. Let me see. Let me make sure this is the right time. No, it was this candle. So I got in within this candle here when it was bullish, and then I set my stops above this high. On the smaller time frame, you'll see that there was a change of character that happened around this area.
And you'd be risking how much on that, something like that? What percent?
I think I risked like 0.5% on this trade.
All right.
And it was only a 0.5% because it was on a Friday. And I already wasn't like, every move seemed last week to happen when I wasn't on the charts. Like both of them happened during Asian session. Like this spike up, Asian session. This run to the upside. I don't think like this was all Asian session to London session. You figure I wake up at like 5, 6 o'clock, and this was the move for that session. I didn't trade this move that day. I think this was actually a holiday, so I wasn't too inclined to trade in last week a lot. So Friday was like the first trade I had took within the whole week, and I actually closed the trade down here once we started to get this rejection. It was coming towards the end of the session. I just went ahead and closed it. It pulled back to roughly break even, and then Sunday is actually when it hit the take profit. On the 15-minute time frame, you can see where my targeted area was here. So this was let me see if it'll let me grab it. This is what I was targeting. So this was my area, and yesterday we opened up with the gap and pushed directly into it. So when it did that, I actually scaled in on another trade. It was based on this 15-minute time frame. So when this 15-minute candle closed, or not when it closed, but it was within, because my entry was 26.45.10. So okay, this candle had closed or was about to close bearish. We had broke through my level over here that I had. We had broke through this low, and so we got a correction. This candle was closing bearish on the 15-minute. I went ahead and took my entries. My trade was at 26.45, like 10. Somewhere within there, and then my stops was just above this high.
Okay,
it was at 26.49.
That's really interesting, listening to your breakdowns, because you're always so close to my key levels or zones. And so, I think we obviously use a slightly different entry strategy maybe, but I'm always kind of more interested to hear about your stop loss setting, so that when your trades go really good, I don't know. I think that stop loss is sometimes key, because I'm known to sometimes put mine a little too close, but I'm just so ultra conservative. I like watching you loosen the belt a little bit on your trade. Like you go ahead and do it. I watch you loosen the stop loss.
Yeah,
but I admire your profit.
That's just, I got stopped out so many times from close calls. Like me and my friend both. I want to say in 2022, that was a big problem. 2021 to 2022, like around that time, that was a big problem that we was having. Just hugging the stop loss too tight. And it really came down to like just wanting to have a bigger risk to reward on the trade. And so we would like hug it tight and just barely get wicked out. And we'd be like, oh, obvious stop loss should be above this high, or kind of within that 15-minute candle above that, or above this high here for that continuation down. So like even the trade that I took today, I took it on the 15-minute time frame. So coming off of this 15-minute, and I knew that we could have a steeper pullback within this level here, because if you figure we have a high, we have a low created, it didn't break this previous low, and then we get a push up. I traded essentially the breakout. So I just wanted to see the volume because of this level that I knew. I wanted to see the volume come into it. My initial take profit was at this area here, but I figured we could get a push up here. That's kind of why I mentioned that depending on how price reacts in this area, I would be inclined to trim in. And had I known we had news, I would have just closed the position up here, ideally. So ended up taking a break even on that trade. And I look to scale in again if we do get an opportunity, because as of right now, this candle did in fact close bullish. It is showing signs of rejection off of this level here, but this 30-minute candle hasn't closed yet. So as far as it's concerned, yes, the volume is pushing down currently within this 30-minute candle, but this could just be a bottom wick for a continuation to fill this bullish wick here. And it really just comes down to what happens with the news when it's released, in the direction that it goes from there. And I think that'll better help set the overall bias to where I wanted to go. I mean, obviously, I'm looking for it to fill this gap to the upside, but we could have a steeper correction and then a push up. So it's just waiting for the news in that aspect is generally better. I already have like a high volume trading strategy where I trade the direction after the news or the spike of the news. With FunderPro, you gotta wait 2 minutes, so that's actually not bad. Other firms, it's like 5 to 10 minutes. So it's makes it able to actually capitalize on those moves. So 2 winning trades, 1 break even for the past 3 trades.
See,
Here
flash
on
over
gold.
to mine in a minute, and I'll show you. Like, I think sometimes it's valuable to share the loss. Like, I'll show you where I screwed up.
Yeah, I agree.
No, so these are the areas you're talking about right now. You're talking about right in here, if I'm not mistaken. You're talking about right here, where I have that guy, and you're
Yeah.
talking about right, kind of where it's at now, but right in about right here.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I agree with that. I agree with that, and I agree with that. There's my lower high. Like, based on my key levels, 4 hour, not too concerned. This is the weekly one I was talking about here with these bounces. Now, this is a 15-minute chart. Regardless, all my lines are going to stay the same no matter what time frame I flash to. But here's what I didn't like. So I was watching this. Basically, I drew that line out Friday night, and now this is right where the session started. The current session we're in. This was
Okay.
Sydney starting right there. I would have loved to have taken that break, but I don't ever take trades until at least a couple hours in, like, once it gets right at Tokyo. So I missed that. I didn't want to flirt with this and start writing Tokyo down. But so I feel like that's the fish that got away. Down here, this big red candle coming down now I targeted that on the 5-minute as my trigger. And I waited till internally that big red candle popped down that below that line. And look what happened. Reversed right up on me. Hit my stop loss about right there. And I saw this one coming up. Now by here, this is my 3 a.m. mark. I'm asleep. Or I haven't woken up yet because my hours are so crazy. So I did not take it, but I woke up to see what had happened and I missed that. So that's why I was kind of wondering when you went in, depending on what your hours of awakeness were. This one, I would have waited for that bounce to come back up, but then I was too afraid from PMI coming out shortly. So you see, coulda, shoulda, woulda, asleep, lost my entire stop loss hit right there. Wasn't in that trade. So right before the stream, I shared with you guys, like, well, not a bad session so far, but the one trade I did go in on, I got
being
so.
And it just so happened that it doubled as like a larger time frame area of interest that could like price could reverse off of, like right where you were at. It was like to the left hand side there was a 4 hour, I think it was a 4 hour low that it had corrected to, that was right in that area, and I was asleep during that time. So my trade, the trade that I closed or that I took last night, I didn't close it until this morning, and it was literally at my take profit, but just over where you have that lower high from this morning. So
Like
yeah,
over in here.
literally right there before I went to the gym, which was lined up right with my take profit was last night anyway. So I was able to close that trade at my take profit when I woke up this morning. And then the whole bullish move up, I was at the gym. Well, I'm not gonna say the entire bullish move. I want to say until like 6:30, 6:45, I'm at the gym. And so I just tried to get that continuation from this bullish move up. But we gotta see what happens in the next, let's see, 15 minutes, because currently the 1 hour is bearish.
So this right here, this was the trade. That was the one I said I did initiate and I lost. That was the first trade I took on that 200K, that new 200K challenge I was talking about a week or two ago. So no big deal. I only risked a little less than 1%. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk
a managed trade, a very managed trade.
I don't know. I in retrospect, I get mad because I think, oh, really, seriously, this continuation is going to keep going. But I thought, I don't buy into that. I don't look back so far as to disregard the randomness of the market. And I purely went on this engulfing red candle right there. So I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm just disappointed that, and I was looking for maybe just an easy,
Yeah.
0.5% gain, 1% gain, maybe. So, but yeah, didn't happen that way.
The common sense investor said that he was glad he was watching. He didn't know that he could trade XRP. Got on a scout for a quick $50. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to bring that to your attention.
Yeah, it's looking like I not closed that break even here. I would have been stopped out coming up into the news. I would have. That's on me for not knowing, because I definitely didn't check this weekend what news events we had going into the week. And now that I'm thinking about it, today is December 2nd, so that means we have NFP this Friday too.
Yeah, I just looked at the week for the Funder Pro stuff, and it looks like we have news today. On Wednesday, there's a ADP non-farm employment change, restricted assets all. ISM services PMI, this is on Wednesday. Thursday, natural gas inventories, and then Friday, NF. Yeah, it says non-farm employment change, restricted all. Yeah. So yeah, a bunch of PMI data this week, it looks like, or NFP data this week, a little bit of both.
Yeah, following the news, I'll likely be looking for buys, because it's looking like this 4-hour candle is going to close bullish. And currently on the 1 hour time frame, we're still in a bullish trend. This candle is appearing to close bearish, but if we dial down to, like, let's say the 15, you can see that we're still just in this bullish trend here. We broke through this high, created this high here. If we can come down to, let's say, this 5-minute candle of demand, it's likely right here. I say this whole area realistically, as long as we don't break through this low. Like if this low gets broken, then for me that becomes now a shift, because we are creating higher highs and higher lows, and now we would have just broken a key low based on this 15-minute time frame. So I always use the larger time frame, even though I would execute likely on the 5 or generally sometimes the 15. This 15-minute is just within a pullback, but this 1 hour is about to close bearish. I'm expecting kind of like something similar of these moves here where we have a bearish candle close and then a bullish continuation, bearish candle close and a bullish continuation. The rejection off of this area is kind of enticing, but we haven't quite tapped into this level yet. So I definitely have to see how the news, how it reacts on the news. But if this low isn't broken here, especially coming off of, I'm most inclined to this 4-hour candle closing bullish. Like this to me is a good sign that we could potentially take a steeper move up and fill this wick, likely breaking the 4-hour candle high, looking something similar like this move here.
Looks like the Punisher is bearish. Thinks it's gonna be broken.
He said it thinks it's gonna be broken. If it does get broken, that'll be smooth.
Right now, we'll see.
Because it'll like it is still within this corrective wave. Like this is a corrective wave following this impulsive move to the downside. So I do believe that the overall structure right now for gold is still within a bearish trend. This is very, very slow to the upside, but it's just, is it going to have enough volume in this next 4-hour candle to break through this previous 4-hour candle's low? The news is really going to have to push it down and for it to close as like a bearish engulfing. And if we do have that type of volume, then this low is likely just going to get broken through here and we'll see that continuation down. It just comes to how much volume is actually in the markets. Because if this closes bullish, then even if the next 4-hour candle closes bearish, I doubt it'll be a bearish engulfing candle unless we get like a huge reaction off of the news here. And just in terms of the structure and how price is currently, I have a bullish bias. Just the 4 hours bullish, 1 hour candle is bearish, but the 15-minute structure remains to create higher highs and higher lows. We're coming in on the 4-hour start. So let's say this 15-minute candle closes bearish. The next 4-hour candle forms a bottom wick, pushes into this level, but doesn't break this low here. Then it's likely that we could see that wick fill play in a continuation of the next 4-hour candle. So that's kind of just how I look at it and how I'm viewing it, just based on how the structure is currently. Now, if the news comes out and the structure changes, then we'll go from there. But as of right now, nothing has indicated that this bullish wave here that we started since the early this morning during the London session has changed to now being a bearish. And I told you guys I don't anticipate where the news is going. I do believe that the news generally follows structure, so it'll be interesting to see, being that we're in this area of interest for structure, how it reacts off of the first the first initial move, if we get a spike down and then a move to the upside. But I just trade the reaction. So whichever direction it sets, I'll trade whatever that is, being that obviously that there's a potential move that sets up.
If it does,
yeah, just heads up, everybody. We got about 4 minutes till you have to close any positions if you don't have a swing trade account open. So just heads up on that.
It's taking me roughly. Nikhil Joshi says, how much time has it taken to become profitable? Please share your journey. For me, it's taken about. It took really to like 2.5 years to get to like break even, and then like I want to say 6 to 9 months after that to get over that break even phase to bring in profits, more consistently. And then, now I still feel like every day I still feel like I'm just heating up in my journey. I see traders doing things that I want to accomplish, 50, 60, $100,000 trades. I've made over 5 figures in a single trade, but I haven't hit like 50K, or 6 figures in a single trade. And those are the types of goals that I'm looking to accomplish in the next upcoming years. Not even years, the next upcoming year, speaking it now.
One thing I wanted to note, something I've been talking about, is the interesting divergence in the indexes. You can see the NAS price action, obviously super strong. You take a look at US 30, quite the opposite. So that the divergence between US 30 and NAS continues to hold up, which is super interesting. I have to close this NAS long. Turned out to be a really nice winner. Deciding if I'm going to give it another minute here or just lock it up. Let's just lock it up. Let's see. Impressive strength by NAS, honestly. If you look at SPX, it's not as strong. We rejected. So SPX, by the way, traded at new all-time highs on Friday. And we rejected those highs now. Kind of getting a little rejection right from Friday's high. So it'll be interesting to see what direction the news sends us for the rest of today.
Yeah.
What time is
Kyron,
it?
back on gold. I don't know if you use the volume profile. What's what I'm trying to think of? The fair market value right now on gold is currently on the intraday charts down there, closer to our bottom zone that you and I have drawn out, 26-29 area. I wouldn't doubt it if PMI. I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't doubt after this news it does go bearish. I think one of the viewers mentioned something like that. Goes bearish. Yeah, down there to that. It gets that. I see that the control point on volume profile, and I use a 40% value range. I think the default on most platforms is 70%. I use 40, and it's interesting right now that it's so low. It's trying to hug bearish right now.
The volume range. So what is that? Is that like
The volume profile?
the volume tool that's at the bottom? That generally is at the bottom.
Volume profile, which would be alongside your sideline there.
I normally have it. Hold on.
Not volume. So not profile volume.
Got you.
I did close the NAS position. Turned out to be nice, a little over $1,000, almost $1,100 on that one.
Oh,
let's see where we'll be.
Trade locker.
Was able to pull the account out of drawdown.
That's always good.
It's always a good feeling.
Yeah.
Samuel said he loves Sam the man loves the volume profile. Brian, do you use the volume profile or session volume profile? Is what Sam asked Brian.
It's a good question.
Close your positions, FYI. If you need to, close your positions, 9:58.
Oh yeah, looks like you're cooked.
The answer there is I use the session volume profile.
He uses the session volume profile, Samuel. Swing accounts. Yes, swing accounts can hold through the news. Sorry, Common Sense Investor. I just saw that. If you're in a swing account, you can hold. No problem.
In terms of like shoulder, head, shoulder up here, then yes. I don't normally trade like head and shoulder patterns. How I see it is I like to trade waves. So like for instance, this wave or this wave. Last Friday, I was trading this down wave. Today, or yesterday, I was trading the continuation of that down wave. And so then we switched from being in a bearish wave to in a bullish wave, and then I tried trading the bullish wave. So I don't necessarily look at the patterns that people normally say. It could be a head and shoulder, but I mean, I don't know. I don't utilize that enough to be for certain. I do know we have resistance at this level here, though, that price is likely reacting off of, and depending on which way we spike with the news, will kind of determine whether we make a steeper move to the downside or we look to potentially target some of these highs up here. So we have the release. We're filling this candle to the downside here. Let's see how she reacts.
Just for brands, based on
not much of a
Samuel.
reaction in the indexes.
Yeah,
What's that?
it's not much of a reaction here either. It's kind of
Yeah,
indecisive.
pretty tame reaction all around. It's a bummer I had to close the Nas because she's still pumping new highs right now. XRP still pumping too. I don't know, Common Sense Investor. I don't know if you're still holding that, but looks like XRP is still making the move up. Just made new highs on the day.
This wick is likely to get filled in some way, shape, or form. So whether it's a partial wick fill or the full wick fill, this is likely not going to be the highest point of this current 4-hour candle. At least that's what I would anticipate.
See, about 30 seconds, and you can go all in, brother.
Oh, nah.
Go. Everything on red. Or you ever play roulette? Everything on black. Everything on red.
I've gambled once, I think.
He's gonna beat the challenge, which is XRP. Thank you, BlackRock.
Yeah. Well, hey, when I went into XRP, like I said, so 6 years ago or something like that, it did good, but it was because I went in on an announcement that they had contracted to deal with, I think it was American Express.
Okay.
And you took that news and ran with it, right? Okay, boom, boom. So I don't know, how much long-term value news like that has with crypto, but I'm not experienced on crypto, so I can't really speak about it.
Yeah, I mean, so they announced the Bitcoin ETFs a while ago, and everyone got really excited about them. And it was one of those kind of like sell the news type of situations where everyone got all hyped. BlackRock announced Bitcoin ETF, and as soon as they announced it, Bitcoin basically saw it maybe a day or so. I forget, but Bitcoin ended up pulling back pretty decent. Obviously, in the long term, it's now surging. We're making new all-time highs.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes like the timing of the news, if you weren't in XRP already, I potentially could be chasing here, and we could see a pullback. But at the same time, I've heard some good things from people who like crypto long term as like an actual currency moving forward, and think that the world is heading that way. And I know people who think that really believe in XRP. So we'll see what happens. I opened a really small position with a super, super wide stop loss that I could potentially hold this position for the next, we'll see, several weeks to a month or two. We'll see what happens. But
are you on a swing account?
Yeah, that's on a swing account. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's smooth.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll just let that one work. So far, it's working, but see how it goes. I'm willing to like add into it too if the price action gives me some opportunities to do so.
Currently, just a break-even day for me. Well, it depends on when you count me closing that trade from last night.
Oh heck, all your trades look awesome, dude.
I wish all of my trades were awesome.
Well,
they can't all be.
You just showing us the good stuff, not the bad stuff.
I generally show you guys last week. I didn't trade at all. I traded. I think I took one trade Monday, like before, right before stream or on stream. I don't remember. And I didn't trade literally the rest of the week. I just kind of took that as like a holiday week and started prepping for other things. Got another account so that I can document it.
Yeah. Document the journey.
Yeah, the true journey, like you said, the ups and the downs. So everything is gonna be raw. Well, it's not gonna be uncut, but it'll be raw in terms of all the trades that I take, the emotions that I feel while I'm taking the trades. If I'm in drawdown, it'll be transparent, like the whole 9 yards. The industry needs a change.
I'm watching Bitcoin right now.
I want to see this 4-hour candle flip bullish. That's ideal. It's holding up currently within
It
that
is.
15-minute level.
Yeah. Yeah, those long wicks.
Yeah. If this candle closes with some volume, if we can like close as a bullish candle, I don't see why we couldn't take out this high up here and fill the previous 4-hour candle wick. At least tap into this level here, and then you have to see. But you can see how this 4-hour candle is flipping bullish. This is kind of what I expected.
See, I don't even have that higher candle mark really as a high yet. To me, it's just if it goes up there, to me we're still in a continuation of that other break. It looked like a low swing, but I blame that on news. You know?
What you mean?
Well, sort of. Where's it at now? Like, for example, it's above your entry point from earlier, correct?
Yes. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That trade actually would have taken me out. I had a feeling it could come down to here, but my entry was right here. So like,
yeah. No, I totally agree, but I just meant more of from a theoretical standpoint.
oh yeah.
Outside of the news, outside of that long wick, it's still, to me, in a continuation from a bullish continuation from
Oh
your entry point.
yeah. 110%, 110%.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was mentioning and why I anticipated
Okay.
or anticipating this to, or at least this
Do
4-hour
that.
candle to flip, because the 4-hour candles are bullish. So the previous two did close bullish. We got a
That's a
long
good
wick
point.
here, and it was
Mhm.
just this 1-hour candle. I kind of mentioned I wanted to see this 1-hour candle go kind of like this, where we have a 1-hour bearish close and then another 1-hour candle bullish flip, similar to what we've seen here. Because I mean, the smaller time frame structure is bullish. Where we're at though is kind of an interesting spot because we're nearing this resistance here. So price can push up within this level. It doesn't necessarily have to break. That's kind of why I said earlier that I knew that when this 4-hour candle was bearish, that it would either give a partial fill or a full fill. It wasn't going to stay at where it was. It was likely going to make some steeper move up. Now, from within this level, we could see a bearish move. Obviously, the volume is bullish, so I'm not anticipating a bearish move, but we are at this resistance that can flip it. Yeah, but if this candle closes, how it's looking, I don't see why, like I said, the next candle couldn't form a bottom wick and continue to fill, because it took a stab at trying to make and break through this low here. Obviously, I'm not in on this trade or a trade or nothing, but just kind of going off of what the structure is showing. Mute this.
Do you ever put in limit orders? Or do you
I
strictly
tried, but they used to get smacked, man. My stop loss used to just get pushed directly through. And I told myself it was so much, it would happen so much, and that I had to change my system to where I wait for a specific candle to close at my area of interest so that it doesn't just push through like that.
Yeah.
Because it would be how I see it now, at least, is that there was no signs of a reversal. And so let's say I was looking to go long within this area here. Let's see, let's dial it down to like the 5-minute, or let's go to the 1 minute. Okay, so let's say I was looking to go long after we tapped into this range here. Let's put this at the top of this right there. If it generally, so how I would do it is I would have a limit set here, and then I would just have my stop loss below this low here. And what I found out that sometimes it does react off of that level. Like, you generally do get a reaction off of this level, whether it was going to go to my full take profit or not. You do generally get some type of reaction, but sometimes you'll get like a wick rejection, and then that candle will just push through for the continuation down, and nothing would have indicated on a smaller time frame. Like, there's no bullish candle closure. So now it's to the point where I have to wait for my area of interest to get tapped into, and then that bullish candle closure to take a possible continuation to whatever the high may be. But I used to set limit. Yeah, I had got, and I would set them and go to sleep or do something like that and wake up with a whole bunch of L's, and it just was not it.
That's the worst.
Yeah. I stopped trading well, I mean, sometimes I take Asian session trades that I hold through New York, but I stopped trading and going to sleep for the most part. It just depends. Last night was an exception. Oh, speaking of which, why
I did
didn't
try a
trade?
small
Oh,
Bitcoin
go ahead,
long.
go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just updating on that because I mentioned I was watching it.
Oh, you could pull it up if you want to show it. My girlfriend and I, we had celebrated 5 years this weekend. That was another reason
Hey,
why I kind of took this week as a holiday, or last
congrats!
week
Congrats.
as a
Yeah,
holiday.
my trading mentor used to talk about that when you have like something like that coming up, you don't want to take any trades that's gonna ruin that for you. Like if you had like anniversary plans or something, right?
Yeah.
But basically, I took a Bitcoin long, just playing the bounce off of a level I have. We had a 5-minute buy trigger, nice strong 2-minute bounce off the level. I have some upper targets on Bitcoin on the futures chart. It's up at 99,795, which is a little bit over today's current high. Somewhere around 9,700 is kind of my first target.
Kyron, on your gold, if it were to go bearish, kind of leaning that way at the moment, would you be looking at? And I apologize. I don't know if you actually said this a moment ago.
No,
but,
you're good. You're good.
If you had said a bearish option, I have a potential short that I would take around 2638 ish. Oh, my screen's on.
2638.
So yeah, somewhere in here. If it were to break this higher low,
Okay.
I might go for that market structure change. But what's your take on that? I don't have a limit order yet, but
yeah, if I can share my screen, I can show you.
Yep.
Yeah, take over.
It's not up here, Kyron. If you can pull it up.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Because I got an eye on this thing right now to go bearish. I'm not saying it will, right? We just don't ever predict, just always react.
Yeah, no, 110.
Yeah.
And I did have a bearish option. I said if it broke through, essentially where you have that line at your higher low.
Yeah.
If it broke through there, that to me would be a market structure
Here's
shift.
why. Before we go to your screen, here's why I
Yeah, you
asked.
good.
That's a long wick that I have right there. And so kind of subjective on where you want to actually lay that based on different theory. But based on supply and demand that I like to do, I have a 4-hour key level right there. So I'm really watching this little area here. And what I would probably do is I would probably move this little line up. I would take an order on the 5-minute chart if I saw a candle closure go below it. I'd probably wait on at least a 5-minute closure. I don't like that idea because I'm being very subjective on where I place that entry movement. So go ahead, take over and show me what you might do.
Okay.
On a short.
No problem. So for me, that same area that you had marked out is technically my low. Because I mean, within this 15-minute trend, we had a high created. This was the low. It didn't break this previous low. So it's like you take a look on the 5-minute time frame. It remained in a bullish trend, because a break below this low for me would have been, all right, we could potentially start taking a stab at moving to the downside. We didn't break this low, and then we pushed and broke above this high. So if you take a look on the 15-minute time frame, for me, this we got our high there, our low, our new high. So as long as that doesn't get broken, if it does get broken, I would look for now a potential sell move. And how I would do that is I would want to see some type of correction. And it depends on how much volume we have in the markets. Because right now, we don't have a ton of bearish volume. Like the previous 1 hour candle closed bearish and this current 1 hour candle closed bearish. If I would be more inclined to trading after this 1 hour candle closed bearish, the top wick, to try to get in a position somewhere upwards of here, a stop loss above that high, because we do have a resistance at this level, which is where my initial take profit was set. And I would have liked to get out had I known we had news. So if that is the case, I believe that within that candle, because I don't think that this current candle with the volume that we have is just gonna push straight through this low. I think it'll likely be like a slow build and we get something like this. Sorry, I think like through pictures, so I have to kind of draw these things out for me to like explain quite exactly what I'm looking for. So I think it would look something along the lines of this. And then if that's the case, that means we broke through this low here. And however way it shakes out on the smaller time frame, whether this candle starts and it pushes down and breaks through the low and pulls back and we get another closure, however it shakes out, whatever. But if this candle closes bearish, this is what I would anticipate if we are going to get, in fact, that break. And then how I would go about that is just see, and for me, it's kind of shiesty, and I only say that because this low wasn't broken here. So like for me, if this low was broken, I'd be much more inclined to let me see. Oh, extend right. I'd be much more inclined to taking this sell move to the downside and literally targeting for these lows to get broken, being relatively equal lows if this low had been broken. Because that to me is showing that, all right, we got higher highs and higher lows. We broke through this low here. It corrected back up into our supply zone. And now we can make a steeper move to the downside, wipe out these lows and likely target these over here. But for me, it really just comes down, like, obviously we're still remain in a bullish structure. So the first thing that would have to happen for you to start looking at bear positions is this 15-minute candle low getting broken here, where we have this this sort of resistance at that area. So how I would go about it is kind of like that. And then I would look for sales off of this level here. After that low gets broken, it just depends on how far that candle pulls back. If we just break through it and we have a ton of volume, simply how I get in on all the 15-minute candles, let's just say it closes like this, no extend right, and let's just say that this is a bearish candle. I'll get in on the top wick of the next candle for that continuation to the downside. And since it didn't break that previous low, I'll have to take my profits at like the demand zone. So within this area, is this gap? Oh, I'm tripping. It's not here. So like within this area here is where I would take profits. So at the top of this box. But a lot of things have to play out first before I would look to do that. Right now, the market to me is still within a bullish trend. But I mean, as it's looking right now, that it could be, you know, definitely swept through. Just coming off of the previous 1 hour candle closing bearish. It depends on how this candle closes. But if this candle can't break through the high, then, you know, we'll start looking at the structure from there.
Good deal.
Yeah, I know that was kind of a lot. You probably asked. Then you asked.
I'm all ears. I asked the question.
But yeah,
I just want to show you guys. We were talking about VWAP a little bit on Friday, I think, Sam and I. I just want a couple interesting moves on Bitcoin off of VWAP. But VWAP rejection here, VWAP rejection here, VWAP bounce here. So it's just something I'm kind of experimenting with. Just keeping an eye on it on my charts and watching some reactions. But this is the Bitcoin long that I'm in. I was wrong. Before I said 9,700. The level I have is up at 98.3. So that's what I'm.
Did you get in on that pullback, or
yeah? So you can see my entry here. Like I didn't snipe like the level. I let us get a bounce. So like it was on this green candle, this strong green candle here on the 5 minute. So my entry is
that's a good entry point or a good entry.
Yeah. And I typically speaking, I would put my stop under this low. But given the whole little VWAP factor that we have, I kept it kind of under this consolidation here. But I'll start to tighten it here. I'm aiming for about a 5. I don't even know if I'll let this play all the way out because I'm really aiming for about a $500 move today with the on this trade for the consistency roll after the NAS long. So I'm up about $135. If I can get that to be about 500, I'll just lock this up. Let's see. What would this be? So yeah, I mean that's so if it gets to my profit target, that's basically what I'm looking for. So so this is what we're watching on Bitcoin right now. See if it plays out or not. Interesting action among the indexes. NAS has held up strong.
Yeah, NAS was extremely bullish today.
Yeah, and then if you look at SPX, it's basically consolidated, hasn't really gone anywhere. Chop central. So hopefully you're not getting yourself trapped, chopping yourself to death there. And if you look at US 30, super weak. So really interesting action among the indexes. The divergence remains in place. Curious to see if US 30 holds this lower level I have or continues to trend to the downside. Right now it's looking like she wants to stay weak. Not much to do on NAS for me. I have about another 50 points of room to the upside on NAS. On the futures chart, 21,227 is the level I have up above on NQ. But I'm not in any of those. I just have Bitcoin open right now.
Heard. Gold is
making new highs.
Little like that little push off this area.
Yeah, this is so pretty solid. If you look at the 15-minute on this, I kind of anticipate this is what I was sort of anticipating was, we got the 15-minute move up, basically a 1-2 bar pullback that gave us a 15-minute buy setup. So when I took this, I saw us getting the strong bounce off the level on the 2-minute and ultimately took it on the 5-minute, anticipating the 15-minute to give us that buy trigger, which we got. So hopefully this can see a little bit more continuation. And we can lock in the profit.
There's a gap over there to the left.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Yeah, we have this gap. So yeah, I mean, that may be a trim area for me if we fill that gap.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I see. This is when. Okay. Yeah, no, I get why we have gaps.
Is that's the overnight, right? Is that right?
So yeah, that's no, that's probably when it opened back up again.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Scrooge, what up, baby? Camray, what up? Markets are kind of slow. Yeah, Punisher, interesting action, man. Interesting action right now. Just a little bit all over the place. We consolidated all night, basically. When I do this, does my screen leave for you guys? Does it like go?
It makes it real small. Like
okay, that's like on the Mac when I'm like changing the screens. But yeah, it's been super interesting action. A bunch of consolidation overnight. We didn't really go anywhere. Then we got the kind of the pre-market pop or the pre-market dump. depending on what you're looking at. So not a lot of things moving in unison today.
We're in December, so a couple more weeks, right? And then it's off to the flatline races.
Scrooge, I'm holding Bitcoin. I'm in a Bitcoin long right now. And then I was talking earlier, I entered an XRP swing trade on a swing trade account this morning as well. But that's one I'm planning on holding. I entered really small and willing to add into it. We talked about XRP as a crypto. We talked about BlackRock announcing a XRP ETF, which means you'll be able to trade XRP or invest into XRP in the stock market. So basically, our parents or our retirement accounts, our parents' retirement accounts, depending on your age, your grandparents' retirement accounts. People may start financial advisors putting some money into XRP ETFs in the stock market. That being said, when your grandparents start getting into crypto, that tells you the top might be near. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not, a lot that's happened since we've hopped on the charts today.
Yeah, the news was really a muted reaction. Like we didn't get a pop one way or the other. Really, across gold, across the indexes, everything kind of just stayed where it was.
What I kind of generally say in terms of like, I think that this week will set up moves, especially like once we get the news for NFP. I think that'll set up a lot of moves for next week, which will be real good to capitalize off of for myself. I mean, generally that's what happens after every news event. News for NFP, at least for NFPs in particular, it generally sets the direction. So NFP is the best time for having larger time frame for me, larger time frame market shifts, or an increase in volume in an already predetermined direction, if that makes sense. And so and generally it doubles at some type of key level that just got broken on a larger time frame, whether it be like a weekly, daily key level, and it'll close at that. So in the next week, kind of like how we seen this week, that volume will continue through Sunday, which is really why I take a lot of trades on I've started taking more trades, I guess you could say, Sunday night, specifically on gold, because that volume from the last week just carries over into that Asian session for on the market open. And you got to think, let's just say the whole week is bullish for this week. Let's just say the whole week is bullish. That becomes one of the lowest points of the entire week. So if I took a sell, so let's say it was bearish the entire week, that could have potentially been the lowest point that gold got this week, or the highest point that gold got this week, if that makes sense. So sometimes those trades, especially coming off of NFP, those are trades that I would likely hold through, not through NFP, but after NFP, or starting that next week throughout the rest of the week, holding that trade, because it generally starts that larger time frame shift or larger time frame trend.
Now, are you implying holding through a Sunday as well? Is that what you meant?
No. So I'll
okay.
take a trade on Sunday and I'll hold it to like Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
And then throughout the whole week, we just see that continuation of volume. Obviously, I'll scale in on the smaller time frame for, as each daily closes during each session. But just I've done things like that where I'll take a swing type, or I'm not gonna say a swing position, but you hold it for a couple of days while taking smaller trades inside of it, or take that as a smaller trade, hold it, and then take other trades with inside of it.
And the direction of it, right?
The other way. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Don't they call that umbrella scalping? I think it's umbrella scalping. I do that. I used to do that a lot. I'd be in a trade just for the intraday, and then I'd be scalping in the same direction.
Yeah.
On those candle fluctuations.
But I generally won't take more than like two trades. I mean, having 3 separate positions open, both of the positions would have to been in profit, and I likely would have taken some type of profit already if I'm gonna scale, or that or close on completely.
I'm not going to take this trade, but I think this is a valid trade idea. US 30 giving us a little bounce off the level so far. SPX giving us a little bounce. The Russell, which is the small cap index, got a nice strong bounce. US 30 is really the only one that hasn't yet. But if we can start to hold this level, push up a little bit, and then pull back and offer a potential higher low, I think there's a valid reason to try a US 30 scalp. I'm not going to take that trade because I caught the NAS winner and I'm holding the Bitcoin. I don't want to give back any of my profits, but I think that's a valid thing to watch if you're looking for a trade. See, NAS still holding its strength. SPX gave us a little bit of a pop here. After this, we've kind of consolidated. Now we're getting a little bit of a push here. So we'll see. We'll see if US 30 offers that entry or not, but something you could be watching. I'm still just going to hold the Bitcoin for now.
Yeah. Waiting, watching, and waiting. Is anybody in any trades currently? I know the common sense investor, he was in XRP. He said he was going to beat his challenge just with XRP. Oh, it's XRP going.
Well, here, I'll pull it up. Let's look. Let's see. Still pretty strong. Let me look at the daily. Yeah, I mean, when I got in, I'd have to look and see.
Man.
I got in somewhere around here on my Swing account.
Gosh.
She's staying strong, baby. It's another strong push.
Did you go in light or heavy?
Me, I'm super light. I'm like wishing I was a little heavy. I did 0.03 watts, and I was just like, but I gave it like my stop is like literally down here, so it's like $1.50 away. It's like right underneath these. So like, and so if you're looking on a daily chart, so what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I'm 2 weeks or so, a week and a half worth of price action. My stop's like way down here. So if we do get like another little bit of a daily pullback that sets up a potential daily lower high, I would add into with a little bit more size potentially. But so I decided to kind of just get my feet wet with a little bit of an opening position.
I wish you luck.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I mean,
it's
like,
only
I wish
like
I had
so.
this-
Even with my stop way down here, I think it's like I have $300 worth of risk on, right? So it's a really small position that I'm willing to just kind of hold. See if we can get a push over the next couple weeks.
I want the sound effect of the roulette wheel.
I like it.
Little sound going around, and then
That's good. We can probably find it.
Click. Gold is on a bearish candle again on the 15-minute.
Oh no, 1 hour as well. The 1 hour is bearish.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it's gonna. Who knows what it's gonna do?
He said, "Oh man, Cam said I'm in silver, gold, NAS, US 30, US GPY, US oil."
Hey, that's awesome.
Baby. Is that Cam like streaming Cam? Is that? Or is that
I don't know. That I would assume so.
Cam Ray, is that streaming Cam or are you Cam number 2?
The greater among says
that's his Discord
is in for sale.
Oh.
You are USD short on the daily. I just checked EU. Because I haven't looked at EU in the past like 2 or 3 weeks, and generally I trade gold and EU is on a nice sell move to the downside.
Oh, curious what you guys think. I saw Trump announced that he plans to do 100% tariffs on the BRICS countries that are trying to move away from the US dollar. Do you guys think that's like a bullish or bearish fundamental piece of news? Any thoughts on that?
I don't think personally that the U.S. is stocked on supplies well enough that would put us into a temporary higher inflation. That I think overall I think it's a tremendous move for the long run. But
yeah,
The short run?
Yeah, curious to see how it plays out. If it's more
Go
of just
all
a
the way.
threat right now or something that he'll actually move forward with.
I don't know.
Yeah.
1 day, 1 hour after inauguration, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
You know,
Short
but
on US
Biden just
oil. Let's
pardoned
look at
his son
oil.
this morning, I heard.
Yeah, Biden pardoned his son. Yeah, I
I
saw
will
that.
not pardon my son. Well, yeah, you just did, so I would too.
It's funny. I've seen like a lot of people, right, complaining about it, and then I follow this other guy, and he's like, "Man, y'all are crazy. Like, if you think I had that position, I wasn't about to pardon my son. Like, that is like my child.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, of course I'm gonna pardon his ass. Are you nuts?
Right?
Like, I don't give a shit what anybody says about me. Like, I'm not letting my kid go to jail. Screw that. We're all a bunch of hypocrites because we'd all do the same thing, probably.
Yep. But the
Especially
question
if
is,
you, I
who
mean,
would
if you
not do
can,
that for?
yeah.
You know someone you would not do that for.
Yeah, like what does Biden have to lose at this point, right? He's like why not? You know.
It might not be here in a week. So
That's U.S. oils. I think we talked about U.S. oil a little bit. It looks like we're still in the same spot when we looked at this last time. We have gone nowhere. Let me let this chart load. I don't know why it's not done for me.
I think a lot of stuff is in for a definite wait and see till February. You'll see intraday trading opportunities, but the big stuff isn't going to come till February 1.
Yeah, I don't like that I'm not getting it's not loading the data, all the rest of the data for me. Makes it a little tougher. I remember looking at this before, and this like 68 area had been a very strong like point of interest. If I wish I could see back a little further, where we had rejected from here and then rallied, it's acted as support a bunch. So I think we're very much in a key area for oil without being able to see the whole chart. But like a lot of consolidation right now. So I remember thinking this before that I think oil could go either way. I do think that like the Trump presidency, he's more of a pro oil administration. So I don't know if that means lower oil prices or higher oil prices, I guess. But hold on, he said he's in a short, right? Punisher, U.S. oil short. Are you looking to swing, or are you looking for more of a smaller?
I was about to say that's subjective to what time frame you're trading.
Yeah, like because like even the 5 minute, a big pullback after a move up. Ultimately, I don't have a clear. Let me pull up my levels on the oil futures chart. Okay, Bitcoin holding up all right. By the way, I don't know if anyone decided to dabble, which we didn't necessarily get the entry that I was referring to yet, but I talked about US 30 a few minutes ago, and look at that bounce, baby. What I had mentioned though was watching this for something that was this bounce, and then gives us a pullback, and then you can look for an entry. So see if that would present a pullback, but a nice level hold so far on US 30. I'm gonna peep oil on my futures charts here real quick. Which I believe is CL. Crude oil futures. Man, that's such a choppy chart. I'll be honest with you. Oil does not look like something that I would want to trade.
No, I don't blame you.
I do lean short based off of the hourly chart for sure. So if you're in a short, I'm okay with that. I lean short. I think I lean short on oil. but I don't trade oil, so do not take that with a grain of salt for sure. Racked up 23,000 points in my FunderPro paid. I haven't looked at it for a while, so I know he's been trading. Definitely looking at. Oh, so Scrooge said he racked up 23,000 points. Scrooge, I'm assuming you're referring to the like the rewards program that FunderPro has. I don't think that's something that we've talked about a lot. But FunderPro has a reward system. I'm trying to think. I forget what they call it. Oh, yeah. So it's their loyalty program. So yeah, if you haven't looked at this, the FunderPro loyalty program, you can collect tokens, which then you can redeem for prizes, enter raffles, get more out of your FunderPro challenges. So I believe they allow you to use those tokens to purchase challenge accounts, maybe even to upgrade your account to like a bigger size, to enter some giveaways, some raffles, some stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked your FunderPro loyalty tokens, make sure that you do. Nikhil, I just saw your question up here. Tyler, Kyron, Brian, please suggest some good books. So there are two. Let's say there's three. Man, I forget the name of the one. The one I would say is a really good book if you're a starter. And I think it's called something like Market Trends and Technical Analysis, maybe. I'd have to look. I'll look for sure. But it's just a good overview of how the market works in general. But if you're someone who has a little bit of experience and you're looking to really like refine your strategy or your trading, there are two books that I suggest. One, which is kind of thick and not the easiest read, but it's full of a lot of really good information, is from Al Brooks, and it's called Reading Price Charts Bar by Bar. It has a lot of chart examples. It has a lot of different stuff there that I think is really, really good, valuable information. Al Brooks has been a trader for, I don't know, maybe as long as I've been alive. And then, so that's a really good book, Reading Price Charts Bar by Bar by Al Brooks. And then one I've talked about a lot, I think it's the best psychology book, personally for me, is Best Loser Wins by Tom Hugard. So those two I would definitely suggest. I'll see if I can find some examples to show you. Try to find the one.
The books that I recommend, I've only read one trading book, which was Price Action Secrets, but I don't even think I had gotten so much value from that book in and of itself. Going through, I don't know, I can't learn the charts that way. Like, I can't read a book and then go apply what I just read to the chart. I have to either be on the live markets or I have to see somebody execute in a certain way. I mean, now I have the bandwidth to use that information, but starting early on, I definitely didn't know how to take that book knowledge and translate it over to the actual moving charts. But books that I do recommend, because I read a lot of and listen to a lot of books, The Richest Man in Babylon is my favorite book of all time. It just basically shows that the process of acquiring wealth is the same, was the same 2,000 years ago as it is today. It's the exact same process of acquiring wealth, at least in principle. And then another book that I recommend, it's a book actually that I have over here, Atomic Habits. Two books. You could either do Atomic Habits, which is a little thicker. I got you can see I got a whole bunch of notes and stuff, but Atomic Habits, and then I have another one. These are kind of interchangeable, but it was here it is. So The Power of Discipline. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's blurry.
But yeah.
But yeah, The Power of Discipline. Those are the three books that I'd recommend personally.
Yeah, I know other traders that really like Atomic Habits, which is actually one that I started reading on vacation last year, and then when I got home from vacation, I finished it. So I gotta finish that one. The first book that I was talking about, I shared a link, an Amazon link. I don't know if it worked, but it's called Charting and Technical Analysis by Fred McCallan. So that's like a good beginner book. But Al Brooks has a bunch of different ones. I think his original book is Reading Price Charts Bar by Bar, but I think he has since broken that down into 3 separate books. And he also has like a video course that you can find too if you're more of like a video guy as opposed to a reader.
Yeah, and all the books that I mentioned, there's a free audiobook version of them
Yep.
on YouTube. You could literally look it up, listen to them. That's what I would do. I want to say back in 2020, somebody told me, this guy that was really wealthy and well off, he told me that I could have the equivalence of a PhD times 3 if you just replace music with audiobooks while you're driving. And so for all of like 2020, 2021, I would literally listen to
I did the same thing.
ton of audiobooks. Like I had over a list of like 40, personal development audiobooks that I had listened to, some on, the US Finances personal development, and I would take notes in all of them. But that's what I would do, especially like I used to work at Amazon. So when I would work at Amazon, I would go in there for my shift and put my headphones on. It would be like 5-hour shifts. I could choose to double them up. It was like a flex program that they had. And so I would literally go in there and try to listen to a book, if not 2, while I was in there. So another book that is a great book is Think and Grow Rich. So in Think and Grow Rich, I don't know what his name is.
Napoleon
That
Hill.
is yeah, thank you.
Yep.
He goes and he basically interviews some of the wealthiest men of his time, because he was trying to figure out what they all have in common, if there's a formula for success, I guess you can say. And the person that he studied closest after was Henry Ford and his business. He talked to a whole bunch of different other people as well, but Henry Ford, he had the most on-hand experience with. And this is before, you have phones and you could just email people their stories. He had to go travel to all
This is an
these
older
different
book for
places.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, to go get this information. It was like one of the first books that were talking about, keys, I guess you could say, to success based off of true testimonials of some of the wealthiest people in that time. So that's a book that I also do recommend as well, as Think and Grow Rich, and As a Man Thinketh. That's a great book as well. So we could be here talking all day about books.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say one other thing that I'll say about books is something that I enjoyed doing with the Reading Price Charts Bar by Bar book is that book's like really thick, and like he's talking about literally every candle on the chart, like the examples he's talking about, right? And so like they'll have labels to like number the candles and like he's referring to them. And then the chart examples in the book themselves are relatively small. So something I did with that book is I had the physical book and I would read it while also listening to the audiobook. And the audio version comes with a PDF of the book itself. So then like the chart examples I would put up on my big monitor, my computer screen, and then you could zoom in like really closely and get like a much more detailed look at the chart examples. So that was something that I used to kind of study that book in a more thorough way.
That's good when it comes with the PDF.
Yeah, all the audiobooks typically do.
Yeah.
I struggle. Well, I'm not gonna say I struggle to read, because obviously I read very fluently and well. I just like struggle to focus while I'm reading. So like I like how you said you'll read and listen to an audiobook. I feel like when I listen to audiobooks, it's more like a conversation for me, and it's much more memorable in that way.
I feel that.
At least for me, I always felt like. Go ahead.
That's like a tough one because there's so many like I love Best Loser Wins as an audiobook. I love like all the other ones you said. I think they're all like more mindset based. So I think they're really good as an audiobook. With the bar by bar, there's just so many chart examples and stuff that you have to have like that, like engaged reading element. Like if you just listen to bar by bar, like it's gonna go in one ear and out the other.
No,
you have to be like listening and or reading and then actively looking at a chart and like looking at the examples and be like, okay, I see what he means there, right? So that's definitely one that requires a more hands-on approach, just because it's like a really technical based book. But the other ones, I agree. I agree with what you're saying on like it's just more of like a conversation and mindset and that kind of thing.
Anything about improving yourself through losing, I think, is a good book.
Yeah, one of the books that I think Tyler you mentioned it, The Best Loser Wins, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
That's a good
Yeah, I
one.
might have to check that one out for sure.
Yeah, I'd suggest that for all traders. Even if you don't like apply his concept of adding to your winners, just like the process he talks about between like your subconscious brain and the stuff he goes into on that, and how basically every mistake that we make in trading comes from a place of avoiding pain, whether it's like cutting your winners early, or not cutting your losers because you're holding on to hope that it may come good and you want to avoid the pain of having to take the loss. And like basically he breaks down maybe the 10 or 15 most like common trading mistakes, and then talks about how they all sort of come from a place of your subconscious lizard brain is what he calls it, but your subconscious lizard brain trying to avoid pain. So like there's a lot that he goes into on that. He talks about like kind of his morning routine of like his meditation process and the things he thinks about before he starts trading. There's a lot of really good stuff about that. And so yeah, I think it's a really interesting read. Whether or not you apply his method of adding to your winning trades or not is up to you, but I would check it out either way. Another really popular one is the book by Jared Tendler. I forget what it's called. I've read that one as well. Caveman brain. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, our caveman brain for sure. Jared Tendler, what book did he do? I'll look it up.
Y'all ever hear of Ian Anderson, the author?
No.
No? You probably haven't. He writes books about gambling in Las Vegas.
Okay. A lot of that can a lot of gambling and poker. So Jared Tendler, for instance, right? He was like a high performance coach where he worked with professional athletes, and like he did worked with golfers a lot, I believe, and gamblers. So like his area of expertise is like working with professional golfers and gamblers about mindset. And he wrote a couple of books, and then apparently somebody came to him and was like, "Hey, a lot of stuff you're talking about." I think it was like a hedge fund guy came to him and was like, "Hey, the stuff you're talking about, it really relates to trading a lot." So he went and spent, I think, a couple of years at a hedge fund, like with traders, and then he wrote a book. It's called The Mental Game of Trading, and it's a good one. I know a lot of successful traders that talk about that book. But yeah, Jared Tendler, he does a lot of speeches and talks as well too. But he's a good one to check out.
One of Ian Anderson's popular ones is Turning the Tables on Las Vegas.
Okay.
Turning the tables. It's all about how to avoid being detected when you're counting cards.
Okay, so it's a card counting book.
No, but they all go into psychology as well and probability. Like you said, a lot of successful traders will put value in the same philosophy that professional gamblers use. And I'm not talking about people who have a gambling addiction, but actually professionals that understand. How did you put it earlier, Tyler? You had the perfect phrase a moment ago about that losing.
Our subconscious brain.
Yeah, I was trying to recall the exact phrase you used.
Yeah, I can't think of what it may have been.
I think you were speaking in terms of one of the books, of course, or an author. But how our minds
how we try to avoid our subconscious brain tries to avoid pain.
That's it. Avoiding pain. Yeah, I've seen that. I've read that. I've come across that little phrase so often that's what we try to do. And I try to remember that when I'm in a trade. I always forget that. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write it down and put it on the wall because I know I have that tendency to avoid pain when trading, when losing. That's why I know for a fact that's why I'm a very algorithmic trader. I like doing I might do more like mathematic calculations for stop losses rather than the recent swing high or swing low. A little different like that, but because I like to really put my weight into probability. But that comes from my gambling background.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Brian. I don't
definitely
know.
says
I
that.
know I've shown Edgeful a little bit. I think they have a free. I think you can do a free trial with them. But if
Yeah.
you like, the statistics and probability of certain things, right? I think it's definitely a good tool for you to
Okay.
check out, and because you can definitely, find the probability of certain things happening and really put like hard data behind your decisions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, just
I'll have
something.
to check that out. You and Samuel, I think
Sam
when
tried
he's
it
on,
out too.
y'all go
Yeah,
through
yeah,
that often, those reports, and
yeah, yeah. You
I
definitely
need
have
to
to
check it
spend
out.
some time, going through the reports and kind of like, uh, kind of searching out like the thing that you're. For me, the way I like to use it is like, okay, based off of my trading experience, I've noticed that this seems to happen often, right? So then I'll be like, okay, so whatever this is that I'm referring to, let me go see if I can find like a report on this specific thing that then gives me the actual factual data behind this kind of,
Mm.
that I have. And then I see if there's, the statistics to back up my theory from my trading experience, right? So that's kind of the way that I've used it. But yeah, it's definitely a cool tool. They put data in a way that you can really see it in a clean and clear way. Common sense investor, you said that's exactly how you trade. Are you referring to best loser wins, Tom Hugard, like adding to your winners, or were you referring to something else?
He may have been referring to gambling.
Okay.
At least I think that was the topic of conversation when he had sent
I got you.
that. But yeah, it's relatively slow for the markets that I'm trading today.
The SPX with another harsh rejection off of Friday's high. If you're looking at the ES futures chart, it's 6,060. We've rejected that pretty harshly. NAS starting to get a pullback. My Bitcoin long still holding up. US 30 gave us that pop and now pulling back. This is kind of the area that if we could start to set like a 2 or 5 minute potential higher low, right? I would be open. This is kind of what I was looking for. So say this like 2 minute would trigger above this 2 minute high. That would be a little bit of an early entry, but I think that could be an early sign of the US 30 trend starting to flip from this downtrend back into an uptrend. We will see. US 30 has been really strong the last several weeks. It's kind of been leading the way among the indexes, so it definitely has some room for a pullback. I'm not saying we definitely do get a big bounce here, but it's a strong daily chart. But it definitely has room for a pullback, right? We could pull back all the way here and still be in an uptrend before we then set another higher low and reverse. So I'm not saying that this is the greatest trade of all time, but this is what I was looking for to set up if I were to take a US 30 trade.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, we got this strong bounce. We'll see if this holds up or it starts to flip, or if it continues to sell off a little bit here. I'm gonna trust in the Bitcoin, baby. Come on, baby, give me a nice little push. About
Hey,
halfway to my
Kyron,
PT.
Kyron, have you noticed on gold on the daily chart, I'm looking on my chart right now on the swing highs and swing lows from a daily perspective.
Here, Brian, I can put your screen up.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Here, I'll take all these drawings off. How do you wait a second? Huh? Like this, let's see. Voila. Okay. Y'all know about this? I like that feature. Yeah, man. Look at this. What do you think? Maybe you've already talked about it. If you go back to about July, oh, now it's going to show all that junk, but you've got this. Forgive me for all those little blue lines and things, but look at that low right there, and then it's gonna be hard to see going down with all my little things, but yeah.
So
have you noticed that yet?
Yeah. That's actually, so we're
daily.
in here. If I hold on, I got you. That's kind of why I said that we're in a corrective wave. Though price is in a bullish structure, it's in a corrective wave. And you see how it pushed down and it broke through that low there that you had marked out. Here, hold on. Let me see if I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
1 second.
Common sense investor, I see what you're saying about the gambling example, but yeah, that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Tyler, can you see my screen? Oh no,
No, it's not up yet.
Browser can't access your screen. Oh, hold on.
Mine does that. The streamer does that to me every now and then when I use the app. So you might have to try if you try the web version, that seems to work whenever the app won't for me.
Oh, I've never even logged into the web version.
Oh, really? If you go to your dashboard, inside Funder Pro, there's and then you go to like your challenge accounts. There's a button that just says Trade Locker, and if you click it, it will.
Okay.
Should just open your web version.
Let's see.
Now I just compared reality to my arrow. It's pretty spot on.
Yeah, if this
a line chart.
This loads up, I gotta accept, allow. Is this even my? Oh, okay. What's this? I don't trade this. Okay, hold on. Let me close this app because now I got the app and the red browser opened up.
To handle.
Nah, my computer should. I actually need to get a new computer. My computer is holding me back. Okay. So let me see. Let me try sharing again. But I agree with you, Brian, that we are on a larger time frame bearish wave.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something, but I can't recall if you used this chart. I just finally saw it on the line chart, and it just caught my attention.
Yeah. Okay, Tyler, you should be able to see it now.
Okay, cool. 1 second. Sorry,
the web. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
no, right, of course.
What you got?
So price was creating higher highs and higher lows. And even within our structure on the daily time frame, you can see just in comparison to this one candle that the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days has struggled to even give a 50% correction of that impulsive move. So we had, I don't have my tools on this. Let me see. Man. Give me a second.
You get Kyra and a subject on gold, and it's like.
All right. So we broke through this low here, and then you've seen we had a correction. It tapped into this demand. Well, it tapped in nearly to this supply zone, excuse me. And then we had a huge rejection off that area. I was actually inclined for price to push up bullish deeper into this level last week, but then we started to see the signs of rejection. So, or the week before, excuse me, we got an impulse to move to the downside. Now, if it will let me here, let's see. I'm gonna pull up the, say, 1 hour. It's weird not having all my tools and stuff up here. But we had this impulsive move to the downside. We're in a bullish wave. Within this wave, as you can see, that we didn't break through this previous low that had took out this high up here, corrected back down, haven't broken through this low, these lows yet. But just in terms of volume, we know, I can tell that price on the larger time frame is so, I'm sorry, it's so weird not having all my tools up on this, because it makes it so much easier. That this is an impulsive move and that this is in fact a corrective structure. But since it's on such a larger time frame, it is kind of, I'm not gonna say it's irrelevant. Obviously, it's something that I understand and I'm, aware of, that at any moment we could flip into being, steeper moves to the downside, breaking through these lows, following that impulsive move that formed a larger time frame change of character. But in terms of where we're at and how I capitalize on the day to day, it's not as important as, the current market structure, I guess you can say. But based on a larger time frame and where we could go on, based on this daily and the weekly chart, we could definitely see a steeper move to the downside. Gold has just been floating up here at the all-time highs. We had that change of character. I don't see why, with the current impulsive move, corrective structure, that we couldn't take a stab at potentially this move down here. And we have what appears to be a gap. Now, I don't know if this gap is consistent on all platforms. Sometimes it varies, but if that gap is in fact consistent throughout multiple platforms, then it's likely that it gets filled. It looks like this is the gap here. And I don't know that that'll be on, because it's not the start of a new week. I don't know that that'll be on there, but yeah, so that's just kind of how I see it. It can go down. Right now, there's no indication that it's gonna make this steeper move, and there'll be a lot of stuff that happens before that. This low gets swept, which would be, to me, the very first indication of that. Where's the, I think that, no, this one, this is the tool. That to me will be the very first indication that the larger time frame is now flipping from being within this bullish wave to now being in a bearish wave. And then we can start targeting areas like this low here. And then, if we do in fact get a steeper move to the downside, we break through this, we start to get where's my path? There it is. We get this move like this and a correction, then we can start to see that move to the downside. But a lot of stuff has to happen in order for this to happen, I guess you can say. So it's a bunch of if-thens. If we get a break of this low, then this happens, then we could see, like that continuation. But I definitely do like that you looked at that larger time frame, identifying the larger time frame having been shifted into, a larger time frame bullish market structure to now being a bearish market structure. We're just in the corrective phase of that larger time frame bearish structure, I guess is what I said all of that to say.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I just wanted to say something. There are some comments on Instagram that I just saw. Unfortunately, guys, if you are watching or viewing this on Instagram, the streaming software that we're using, we get to see all the comments from Facebook, from YouTube, from X, but it doesn't show us the Instagram comments. So it's like a separate thing. So if we missed your question or your comment on Instagram, apologize. It just makes it it's harder to watch the Instagram chat. I just wanted to make everybody aware of that.
Oh yeah.
Just gonna show how Bitcoin's playing out here. Still getting a nice push.
That looks nice.
US 30 gave us 5 minute, gave us a nice, I think a break above this candle could have been a potential entry. The stop under lows. Like I said, I'm not going to take that one. That one kind of played out how I would have been watching for it to play out. 2 minutes.
Indeed, it did. Indeed, it did.
Yeah, I actually like the 2 minute. A nice little. I would have given you a pretty tight stop if you scaled into the 2 minute there, where you can see we're putting in that potential higher low. See if the trend continues to flip or not. Strong engulfing 5 minute. $11.10. I'm always in these trades that are like getting close to where hitting my TP right as we're getting ready to log off. I'm like, I need one of these to just like smack TP before we get out of here.
Nah, that's what I hoped for gold today. Didn't quite get that. Ended up with the break-even session. But I guess technically on the day I'm up over 1%, a little over 1 to 2.5 risk to reward in terms of both trades that I've taken.
That's
yeah,
great.
today's been relatively it's been a solid day for me, relatively stress-free.
That's good. A stress-free day is always great.
For sure. For sure. Oh, by the way, we haven't talked about this today. I do think there's a Cyber Monday deal going on. I think FunderPro's Cyber. Let me see what it is.
Oh, it is. Cyber Pro, 30% off 200K challenge.
All right, so if you're looking for the big boy,
let me see something.
I forgot. Cyber Monday.
Only 20 coupons, so 200K challenge. Oh, Karen, looking at the Instagram page, the FunderPro page, they updated the highlights. Graphics.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Look at that handsome mug. Look at that handsome mug on there, baby. Oh shit, I haven't even looked at XRP. I hope that's a good look at XRP.
It's red. Boom.
Oh hell yeah, baby!
Oh my.
Let's go!
Oh wow.
Now I wish I would have went way bigger. I'm like, damn it.
Who's got edge now, baby? Tyler.
That's right, babe. We're holding this. We're holding this bad boy. We're holding, baby. We're shooting for the moon. I like it. Keep taking Bitcoin with you, XRP. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, common sense investor. Let's go, baby. We eating. We eating today.
No,
Just took some more
seriously.
XRP profits off the table. Yeah, buddy. Good stuff. Good stuff. I might have to check and see what I'm up. I don't know. Probably not all that much because how small I was sized. But still, that's good. That's what I wanted. That's stress-free.
Stress-free.
Come on, Bitcoin. Give us this little pop, 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 snap, crackle, pop. I'm about to move Bitcoin to break even. Just don't want to jump the gun yet, but I also don't want to sit through a bunch of pullback on this. That's what I think I might.
Yeah, it's that 50-50 ball.
Yeah, I'm already up about $1,100 on the day. I'm not gonna let any of that get eaten into. So we're gonna go break even on the Bitcoin.
It's definitely the lesser of the two evils.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. No need to add stress to this relatively stress-free day.
Yeah. I agree. But if
All right. What up?
if gold within this, let's see.
I'm watching
So it's
it.
like this 1 hour candle is gonna look at like this current 1 hour candle may look like the candle I drew out in terms of the bear. I can't.
I got you. I'll just show it. You're saying in 1
okay,
hour?
okay, yeah, in the 1 hour. So that is that. Oh yeah. So that 1 hour candle is looking like how I thought it would play out. If it breaks that bearish 1 hour candles low, that's when I will look for possible scaling plays, scalable entries for gold for a potential steeper move to the downside. And if it does give that, it'll likely take out those equal lows at 26-21 level.
Down here.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I could see that. Looks like the hourly flipping into a downtrend here, making some new lows, potentially got a potential lower high. Kind of broke
It'll
this.
go up or down. You just have to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
It's that easy, right?
This trend
It's
line
that
here.
easy.
If you're a trend line person, this is kind of a nice little break retest in the trend line to the downside. For all the trend line people out there.
On the top side, you can create an up channel.
Yeah. Yep.
Broke out the channel for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that as well.
So like a bearish flag type pattern.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, if that thing on gold, if that pops below my last support area, that higher low, I'd be going short 37 down to 27. That would be a nice little pop. Tomorrow is there no news tomorrow?
Tomorrow there's no news. There's news on Wednesday.
Oh, but tomorrow's Jolt's job opening. So even though that's not restricted by FunderPro, it is definitely on my hit list.
Yeah, it still has. Yeah, I could see some reactions. Peace out, Dark Knight. All the best. I think we're getting ready to hop off here as well. But thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us today. It's been another solid trading session for sure with you guys. And we'll be back on Wednesday to do it again. And hopefully XRP will be at like $5. But all right, sounds good. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I don't know if there's any more coupons left for the Cyber Monday sale, but go check that out and trade safe. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out, everybody.
See ya.